Representatives of the Ministry of Finance, led by the Minister herself, have gathered here. Top on their minds is the dwindling fortunes of the country. A whopping 150 billion naira spent on subsidy payments in a single month in 2021 troubles the very fabric of the country, a figure she says will not confirm with the draft of the 2022-2024 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper revealed in her presentation.
The draft MTEF FSP for 2022 to 2024 has been prepared against the backdrop of global economic recovery, amidst improved vaccination outlook and lower incidence of infection. However, the medium-term fiscal framework shows that there are continued global challenges even in the aftermath of COVID-19. Overall, the fiscal risks are somewhat elevated, following weakness in the economy and slower than expected recovery. As observed in the 2021 to 2023 MTEF FSP, weaker than expected economic performance threatens our ambitious revenue targets as seen in part in the 2021 performance up to May. Non-oil revenue performance has been impressive and heading in the right direction. Efforts will be sustained in this regard. High costs, including PMS under recovery and cost of securing oil pipelines, are however weighing down very heavily on the revenue performance. These issues must be addressed holistically to free up the much needed fiscal room that we require to enable the government provide developmental projects for the citizens as well as improvement in the social welfare of Nigerians.
A further breakdown puts services at 3.6 trillion naira as against 3.12 trillion naira this year. Non-debt or recurrent expenditure is projected at 6.2 trillion for the coming fiscal year as against 5.64 trillion naira in 2021.
At slide 15, the expenditure performance. On the expenditure side, 4.86 trillion, representing 92.7% of the prorated budget, has been spent. This excludes government-owned enterprises and project-tied debt expenditure. So it's just ministries, departments, and agencies, and the other arms of government, On the expenditure side, 1.8 billion was for debt service. This represents 37% of the total expenditure, and 1.5 trillion was for personnel costs, including pensions, and this represents 31% of federal government revenue. As at May, 973 billion has been released for capital expenditure. At slide 16 is a table that is showing the line-by-line summary of the expenditure performance, and at slides 18 is the key assumptions and the macroeconomic framework for the 2022 to 2024 medium-term fiscal projections. The key parameters, as well as other macro projections driving the medium-term revenue and fiscal and expenditure framework, has been revised in line with the emergent realities. The new figures are presented in this table, and this is showing a crude oil benchmark price of $40 for 2020, which is 2021, which is where the budget was passed. And then for 2022, we've adjusted that to $57, as well as for the outer years of 2023 to 2024. So $57 per barrel for 2022, 2023, and 2024.
With a budget to be prepared based on an oil production volume of 1.88 million barrels per day, predicated on a benchmark oil price of $57 per barrel and an exchange rate of 410.15 naira to the dollar, Nigerians may have to pay more for petrol, foodstuffs, and just about every other thing in an economy that already bites hard with no mercy.